Om Sadashivasamārambhām Shankarācārya-madhyamām Asmadācārya-paryantām Vande Guru-paraṁparām Mūkam karoti vācālam Pangum lankayate girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Paramanandamādhavam. So we were looking at the reply which Bhagavan gives to Arjuna, because Arjuna asked a question that how can you teach Vivaswan, who was there long time back? You are born just now as Devaki Sutaha. How is it possible? So for that, Bhagavan says that there are many janmas have been there. Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacharjuna. So you have also been born many times before, and all those janmas are already gone. You do not know anything about that, but I know about all those things because I am Sarvajnaha, Sarvavit also. Sarvavetritvam is there. I know about each and every janma of each and every living being. That is, in fact, we cannot even fathom this limitless knowledge, correct? Because we are limited by our own mind. Bhagavan doesn't require any mind to know. Understand that. The very Maya Upadhi is good enough. That is all knowledge, in fact. So Bhagavan has all knowledge. Bhagavan doesn't require any mind to know. We all require a mind to know, and because of that itself, our knowledge is limited. And having said that, he explains his own birth. Also, he has to say, correct? So that is the next verse, which is very, very interesting. So it is Ajo Pisanna Vyayatma Bhutanam Ishwaropi San Prakritim Swamadhishtaya Sambhavam Mayaya. So he says Ajaha Api San, being unborn. Because that is the reality, correct? That is the reality of Atma, reality. So from the ultimate standpoint, from ultimate reality, which we call Paramarthika Satyam, correct? Paramarthika Satyam means that which is ultimately real. From that standpoint, I am never born. In fact, none of us are ever born, in fact. Nobody is ever born. Everybody is Ajaha only. But we do not know that, and we take the birth of this body, mind, sense complex as some kind of a reality, correct? That I am born in on so and so date, I have a birthday, Jayanti, etc. We even celebrate it for Bhagavan also. But Bhagavan says, I am Ajaha. Ajopi San, being unborn. And what else? He says, Ajopi San Avyayatma. Avyayatma here, Bhashyakara gives a very interesting meaning for Avyayatma. So he says, his knowledge also is never gone. It is always there. For a jiva, there is ignorance. The jiva thinks that he is really born and he is going to die, correct? The jiva doesn't know one's own reality that I am an unborn and undying conscious being. But Bhagavan is not like that. For Bhagavan, when he says Ajaha Api San, Avyayatma means that I am this Aja and I am this Brahman, Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma. This knowledge never goes away from Bhagavan. With that knowledge alone, he is born. That knowledge is never gone from him. It is always there. Avyayaha means it is imperishable. That knowledge itself is imperishable. It is always available. It is there. So with that knowledge alone, that I am this unborn reality, still there is some kind of a show only. Right? It is only a show, you have to say. So Ajopi San Avyayatma, but then again what? With reference to the Srishti, he says Bhutanam Ishwaropi San, being the Ishvara of all the beings. That knowledge also he has, even though he is there as Mr. Krishna. You may think that he is only occupying a particular body, correct? He is a Dehi with reference to the Krishna Deha. But that Krishna Deha also, what is the reality of that? We have to do some analysis. There is a certain Avatara Vada also is there. In fact, Shankaracharya himself doesn't write much of a commentary here. His commentary is very brief. But there are others who have done a lot of analysis. And one of the commentators called Bellankonda Ramaraya Kavi. Okay. He lived only like some 100 years back or 150 years back in Andhra. He was originally a Vishishtadvaitin. Then he is supposed to have studied Panchadashi of Vidyaranya Swami. Then he became an Advaitin. Then he wrote commentaries on Bhagavad Gita Bhashya. He has written his own Tika. Why I am saying is our Pujya Swamiji used to read the Tika. Because I have seen him preparing for the class by reading that Bellangunda Ramaraya Kavi's Tika. And I used to have that Tika in the class when Swamiji used to teach. I will be reading that Tika also simultaneously. It's a very good Tika actually. He has dealt in detail about all this Avataravada, what really, how we have to understand Krishna. Because here when you look at this verse itself, so many things look very contradicting, correct? He says, I am never born, being not born, and being always having this knowledge also. This all knowledge is always there. In that, the self-knowledge also is included. There is no self-delusion for Bhagavan, correct? So that is Avyayatma. Then also I am still the Bhutanam Ishwaraha Apisan. I am still the Ishwara of all the beings. Means all laws are his laws. Means he is above all the laws. Correct? He is not under anybody's laws or any law. All the laws are only for the other beings who are all there under his laws. But I myself, I am above all the laws. I am not subjected to any law. That is the Ishwara. Bhutanam Ishwaraha Apisan. And also Prakritim Swam Adhishtaya, keeping the Prakriti under my Vasha. Correct? Means Prakriti here is the Maya or the Trigunatmika, the Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, and all we talk about. Correct? Prakriti is made up of three gunas. It's constituted of three gunas, and then further everything else in the Srishti also inherit one of those gunas or whichever is predominant. Based on that, their characteristics are all there. Like that, we have this idea of Prakriti itself having three gunas, and those gunas are further manifest in different ways depending on which is predominant within the Srishti itself. So this entire Srishti is only Guna Guneshu Vartante, like that it is said later on also. Bhagavan says, whatever is happening in the creation is the gunas are acting amongst themselves. And that is what is all, whatever is happening here, it has got nothing to do with me really. I am only the Chetana Vastu to whom all these things are becoming evident. The gunas are acting in the presence of the Chaitanyam by themselves, and they are all constituents of the Prakriti. One, if you look at it as one causal Vastu, that is called as Prakriti. The Prakriti itself in different contexts has different names. In fact, Avyakrita also it is called as. It is undifferentiated. Avyakta, it can be called as unmanifest. Or Maya, it can be called as Maya or Prakriti. All these different names are used for the same causal form of this entire universe. And that causal power is in my Vasha, he says. It is under my control, my mastery. Keeping that under my control only. Still, what he says, so Prakritim Swam Adhishtaya Sambhavami Atma Mayaya, he says. So I still come into being. Sambhavami means he is now appearing to everybody. Now the Krishna Sharira which is appearing to everybody and which seems to be doing all this Vyavahara, all the activities in the world. What is the status of that? This needs to be inquired. Then only we, because this Avataravada is there, we say that Krishna is an Avatara, Rama is an Avatara. Like this are different, even some Shiva avatars and all, we talk about different people as Avatara of Shiva. Some aspect of Bhagavan, we say that these people are avatars. In the Avataravada, the main thing is that they, even though they appear to have a body, they do not have any bodily limitations. Is that clear? The appearance of the body is only for the other jivas. We are looking at Krishna as Mr. Krishna or Devaki's Sutta and all that, son of Devaki. But the same Krishna is able to show Vishwarupa Darshana also, correct? In that, Arjuna has the vision of Krishna as everything. And in that, even some terrible things are all he is seeing. The funny thing is, then Arjuna says, "No, this is good enough. I have seen. I don't want to see this anymore. You show me your Saumyam Rupam," like that he says in the end. Okay, if you take the 11th chapter here, the Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga is there. In that, Bhagavan says, "I'll give you Divya Chakshu. I'll give you special eyes. And then with that, now you can see, because this is the vision which nobody else has seen before." All that he says. And then he is showing him the Vishwarupa Darshanam. After seeing all that, Arjuna actually has fear. He's frightened and he says, "Now you show me your Saumyam Rupam, your pleasing form alone I want to see. This is okay. I don't want to see this anymore." Now that also has a deeper teaching, correct? That is because Arjuna still felt he is different from the Vishwarupa, correct? That is what is causing the fear. He did not see himself also in Krishna. If he had done that, means there cannot be any fear, correct? He is not separate from Krishna. Only Dvitiyadvai Bhayam Bhavati, like that Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is saying very clearly. Or even Taittiriya Upanishad says, Udaram Antaram Kurute Atatasya Bhayam Bhavati. Even if you make a very slight division difference, then it can become a cause of fear, because only when there is a second thing there can be fear. If there is no second, then there is no Bhaya Karanam itself. That's what the Upanishad also teaches. So Abhayam Pratishtam Vindate, it says. One of the Jnana Phalam is that fearlessness. Because there is no second thing to be afraid of. Na bibeti kutascha neti, it says Anandam Brahmano Vidwan. Na bibeti kutascha neti, like that. There is no fear. Jnani is fearless because there is no second thing. But if you see a second thing, means there is fear. And that is shown in the Vishwarupa Darshana also. Anyway, so the Krishna form we are seeing that, no doubt. And we may think that it is like any other body, correct? But it is not that. Bhagavan is very clearly explaining here. Even though you see me in a Krishna form, I am still the unborn reality. I am the Ishvara of all the beings. I am not subjected to any laws which you are all subjected to. I am still wielding the Maya also, the Maya Shakti also. I am the wielder of Maya. I am the Maya V, correct? He is the magician. The magic is only for the others. It is not for the magician, correct? Magician is on the other side of the magic. He is still on the other side of the magic only, but still he is appearing as though he is part of the magic also. Is that clear to you? You think that he is one part of the magic, but that is also part of the magic. He is still the magician who is on the other side of the magic, and he is wielding the entire Shakti by which the whole magic itself is appearing. But you think that he is also one small part of the magic, and that is also part of the magic. Okay, that's what he is trying to say here. And here, in fact, there is one more analysis is done. Interesting analysis. Like I said, Shankaracharya doesn't do that, but Bellangonda Ramaraya Kavi does that, and Pujya Swamiji also has taught it in the class to us. So how do we understand the avatara in the framework of the orders of reality which we talk about? Because whenever we are teaching Advaita, we talk about different orders of reality. That there is a Paramarthika Satyam, the ultimate reality, which is Brahman, which is limitless, which is Nirguna also, which is devoid of any qualities or any action or any sambandha, any relationships, etc. It is the reality which is as it is. But there is also a world which we encounter, which is perceived, which is appearing to us, and in which all the activities are happening, in which we think we are born, and also we think that we are going to die in this world. So this world has to be accounted for, that we account as the Ishvara Shriti, correct? This world was not created by any one jiva, that we are all clear. It was not created by me, it is not created by you, but it is there, it is given. That's what I told you. The giver then is Ishvara, and Ishvara is Jagat Karanam, and this whole world is Ishvara Shriti. But even within this Ishvara Shriti, the jiva does not encounter the Ishvara Shriti as it is. If you can do that, then you are objective. But we do not encounter the Ishvara Shriti as Ishvara Shriti. We include our own Jiva Shriti also into that. That is our subjective reality. So we bring in a certain subjective reality into that, and in fact, as a result of that, we suffer also. That's a different thing. But there is a Ishvara Srishti which is Vyavaharika, we say, correct? Which is the transactional world, whatever objective world which we encounter is the Ishvara Srishti. In that we also have certain things only the Jiva sees, correct? Not even the other Jiva is not seeing that. It is your own subjective projection, or even seeing snake on rope is subjective, correct? The other person may still see the rope, or other person has such a bad vision, he does not see anything. He doesn't see the snake nor the rope. That also is a possibility. So there is always a Jiva Srishti involved, that is called Pratibhasikam. Pratibhasikam means it is only appearing to you. It doesn't appear to anybody else. That is also there. So there is a Paramarthikam, there is a Vyavaharika, and there is a Pratibhasika. Like this, we classify whatever is appearing here. In this, Krishna as an avatara is not Paramarthika. That we are clear. Even though he says, but he has the knowledge about the Paramarthika reality. That knowledge is never gone for Krishna. With that knowledge only he is still appearing as Krishna. That he himself says Ajaha Apisan. By saying that he has that knowledge, but Mr. Krishna as one who is born of Devaki and Vasudeva cannot be the Paramarthika Satyam. Okay. Then what is Krishna then? Is Krishna then Vyavaharika? Because in Vyavaharikam, in Ishvara Srishti, we have karma, correct? We say that all our bodies are there. The body mind sense complex which we have taken up is due to a particular karma. We are all subjected to karma. We are subjected to Bhava Punyam. And we are also having ignorance. We take all these things as real, correct? We think that really we are born, we have a body, we are going through a life, and we are encountering joy and sorrow and all that. It is all these things are there. Now, Krishna doesn't have any of these things. He does not take himself to be a jiva, nor he is subjected to any karma also. Is it clear? Krishna is not born due to his own karma, like we are born due to our karma. Krishna keeps the entire Maya Shakti under his Vasha, and then he is projecting himself. That's all he says. It's not because of some karma is there and he has to undergo Papa Punya that Krishna is born. That is not there. So Krishna's birth and whatever Krishna appearing to everybody also cannot be classified as Vyavaharika, because there is no involvement of any karma in that, or any laws of the Vyavahara are also not involved. Then how do we classify? Then only one more thing is there. That is how, by kind of a reductio ad absurdum, like we say, then Bellangunda Ramarama Kavi says that Krishna's appearance is only Pratibhasikam. Although it appears to everybody, still it is only an appearance which everybody is seeing equally. But it is not like a Vyavahara. In Vyavahara also, it cannot be considered like any other birth. It is a special kind of appearance. Bhagavan is appearing to everybody out of his own power, and that is how it is. So we have to take the avatara as a pratibhasika only, because it is not subjected to any kind of karma or papa punya, and there is no real death also. So Bhagavan is, even while he is appearing as Krishna, whenever he references himself, many times he is referencing himself as Ishvara only, correct? That's why he said, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacha Arjuna tanyaham veda sarvani. I know all that, means he is referring to himself as only Ishvara there. So in this manner, we have to understand that the appearance of Krishna is there. It may be seen by everybody also, but still that Krishna's body is not subjected to any kind of karma or papa punya or anything like that. And whatever appearance he is showing you, it is out of his own will. He's Atma Maya only, he says. he is making himself appear as part of his magic. The entire Srishti itself is a magic. In that also, he appears as though he is part of that magic. Like I said, that is also part of the overall magic only. So this Krishna Sharira has to be considered only as Pratibhasikam, and it doesn't have any karma or papa or anything. Like this, the one analysis is done and this conclusion is reached. So he says that now I come by my own will, I am born like this. Now for what purpose? He says that in the next verse. What is the next verse? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. So whenever yada yada hi dharmasya glanihi, so when the dharma declines, it becomes weak, then I appear, correct? So, hey Bharata, to uplift this dharma, to again re-establish the dharma. Abhyuthanam, adharmasya abhyuthanam means to remove adharma, to destroy adharma and re-establish dharma. I am born again and again. Tadatmanam srijamyaham. I create myself. Srijami means basically I am born or I am created, whatever, but I do that myself. How? That is already said, correct? Ajopi Sannavyayatma, that we have to understand. When he says Srijami Aham here, this Srijami has to be understood in the context of what was said in the previous verse only. It is not like any other birth, but it is the same kind of avatara only. I appear as another avatara to take care of the adharma. So when the dharma is so weak and adharma is so prevalent and predominant and it's not under the Shakti of any individual within the Srishti to establish Dharma, then Bhagavan only has to come, correct? Bhagavan comes and re-establishes the Dharma. This promise Bhagavan gives here. This is a very famous verse. This Yada Yada Dharmasya, I think, because even in the Mahabharata serial and all, it used to come. By that only it became famous, I think, in the TV. But even otherwise, it's a very famous verse. So he says that I will come again and again. Yada yada hi dharmasya tada tada. We have to understand that. And then also further he explains that how does he establish the dharma and how does he destroy adharma? Means he says paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So I protect the sadhus, paritranaya sadhunam, for the protection of sadhus, and vinashaya cha dushkritam, those who are doing the wrong things, correct? Those who do adharma, to destroy them, vinashaya, and in this manner, dharma samsthapanarthaya, for the purpose of establishing dharma, I come again and again, he says, sambhavami, in each yuga. So even in our understanding, this avatara and all, we say, like in the Treta Yuga, Rama Avatara, in Dwapara Yuga, it is Krishna Avatara. We are waiting for the Kalki Avatara now. But in between also we say that some Amsha Avataras and all we talk about. Somebody, if he has some glorious life, we attribute it to Bhagavan only. Nothing wrong in that. We say that he is also some Avatara of Bhagavan. But here also some people have all this Taratamyam. They say Krishna is Purna Avatara, somebody else is not a Purna Avatara and all that. I don't know whether we need not get into all that. But yeah, Bhagavan says that in each yuga, I take avatara to re-establish the dharma and uh, destroy those who do adharma. So that is very clear here. And in every yuga it happens, and in according to our Puranas also, that is how we have in the Purana. We understand that. And Kalki Avatara is supposed to be there in the Kali Yuga. But again, according to our time scale, Kali Yuga is very young now. It's only 5,000 years, correct? And Kali Yuga itself is supposed to have 4,32,000 years. So how so many years are there? In fact, I was having one talk. I gave one talk to all the scientists in US, okay, in Washington University. So I gave a talk, introduction to Vedanta and Veda to scientists, and all these PhDs and many people were sitting there. So there I was talking about how our Puranas are all talking about the one day of Brahma, correct? One day of Brahma itself is such a big number. It is going into billions of years. Because one Kali Yuga is 4,32,000 years. Then Dwapara Yuga is twice that. Treta Yuga is thrice Kali Yuga. And Satya Yuga is 4 times Kali Yuga. That means one Chatur Yuga is 43,20,000 years. So, like that, 1,000 Chatur Yugas is one day of Brahma. Okay, one day means one daytime. One daytime of Brahma is 4.32 billion years or something. Like that, again, he sleeps. One night time also is there. That is called Pralaya. And again, like that, he lives. That is only one. So 8.6 billion years or something is his one day. Like that, he lives for 100 years. One Brahma. So you calculate all that, then the scientists were saying this is too much. Even in our current understanding of science, we think that world is some 4 billion years or 8 billion years, or no, I think they have revised that. Previously they were saying 4 billion years or something. In fact, it matched one daytime of Brahma. But now they say that they have even found very old some rays and all that, cosmic rays and all that, and now they have revised it to some 15 billion years or whatever. So I said, you people are revising it all these all the time. So at some other time you may achieve whatever this big number which is coming, right? This like it's unfathomable. It's so many zeros, it doesn't make any sense to us anymore, correct? If you calculate that, so that is the lifetime of a Brahma. And then the Mahapralaya happens and all that, like that. And again, one more cycle of creation starts and another Brahmaji comes. Okay. So that is the kind of scale. It's really even more than the cosmic scale, correct? Normally, when we talk about something very big, we say that it is cosmic. But this is like cosmic square or whatever, it is mega cosmic. So that is how it is presented. It's amazing. So anyway, so in every yuga, Bhagavan will take this. He says he will take avatara, but again, Kalki avatara is not going to come very soon. But some people are already claiming they are Kalki avatara. So we don't know what is the truth of that. Okay, but there is at least some 4 lakh years more, which we are not going to be there to see all that. So it's okay. So now the next verse is the most interesting verse, and my Guruji used to talk very eloquently about this because that is a Mahavakya. So now he has told about his own Janma, right? Bhagavan has described what is his Janma, how it is taking place and all that, what is the purpose of that, all these things he has said. Now he says, Janma karma cha me divyam, evam yo veti tattvataha, tektva deham punarjanma, naiti mameti sorjuna. So now suddenly he says, Janma karma cha me divyam, me janma karma. So my janma, whatever my life and whatever I am doing, all these things, it is all divyam, he says, it is divine. Now about this, whoever knows in this manner, evam yo veti tattvataha, he says, he knows the reality of this, does not have any more punarjanma, he says, tektva deham. Once that person gives up his body, there is no punarjanma for that person, means he becomes mukta purusha. So how can one become mukta? By just knowing Bhagavan's janma, whatever he told in this manner. Means that's where we have to understand. Bhagavan says, I am ajaha, correct? Ajaha api san, still I am born. Sambhavami. Ajaha api san, sambhavami. Now the one who understands his own janma also in the same manner, correct? I am also no different from Bhagavan, in fact. I think that I am subjected to karma. and that I'm really born with this body, mind, sense complex and all that. But in reality, what is the reality for me also? Whatever is the reality for Bhagavan, whatever is Bhagavan's nature is also my nature. The reality is no different to me also. For me also it is applicable. That's why Bhagavan says, Evam yo veti. The one who knows in this manner his own Janma also. Like Bhagavan knows about his own Janma, if I know about my own Janma, that reality is no different from Bhagavan's reality then. Because I am also Ajaha only. I am also in reality, I am never born. Whatever I say as I, that I is not something which is born. The birth is only for the body. Death also is only for the body. When the body dies also, I am there as a conscious being. The death of the body also only is evident to the consciousness alone. That and whatever is happening in your body, mind, sense complex, everything is evident to being. You are that conscious being alone. You are not anything different from that. And therefore, whoever knows in this manner about oneself, that person is a Mukta Purusha only because you are freed from all the samsara, because you don't take yourself as somebody who is born with a particular body, mind, sense complex. Because the entire samsara, the entire problem, the human problem is because you take yourself as an individual, confined to a particular body, mind, sense complex. And that you think is the reality. And based on that, you are suffering because all the bodily limitations, all the limitations of your mind, all the limitations even of your intellect, etc., everything you superimpose on yourself. You think that I am small knowing, I am an idiot, I am ignorant, I am fat, I am dark, whatever it is. You have so many complexes about yourself and you are suffering. But all these things are only wrong notion. That you take yourself as the body, mind, sense complex itself is ignorance only. It is adhyasa. It is atasmin tad buddhi. It is seeing something which is not there really. You are seeing something on something. You are seeing certain dharmas on the Atma which are not Atma dharma. They are all Anatma dharma. And you are seeing certain dharmas in Anatma which is, you think the Anatma is aware or conscious or sentient and all that. That is Atma actually. So like this, itara adhyasa is happening. One's qualities are seen in the other. And this way only the entire confusion is happening. That is the human problem. And to overcome that, knowledge alone is the solution. In fact, this is what Bhashyakara in the Brahma Sutra, there's Adhyasa Bhashya, which is the introduction to Brahma Sutra. He starts like this because first you have to establish the problem. Correct? Why do we even have to study Vedanta? Means first you have to understand the fundamental problem of human beings. And then only he has to establish what has to be achieved. Correct? Even though your reality is already Siddha, only by showing that Adhyasa is there, the Siddha becomes Sadhya. Correct? Whatever is already accomplished, how have you lost it? You have lost it because of wrong notion caused of due to avidya, due to ignorance. You are superimposing whatever is not there on you onto yourself, and then you are suffering. And now you want to get rid of that suffering. That means your whatever is your reality, whatever is your very nature, that already it is there, but it is not known. The only distance is due to the ignorance alone. So the entire pursuit, that's why it is only a pursuit of knowledge. It is not a pursuit of any karma or attaining a particular karma phala, etc. He establishes all that beautifully there. So therefore only you have to start the study of Vedanta Shastra. And Vedanta Shastra is, that's why it is meaningful. Otherwise the Purva Mimamsaka says there is no separate Vedanta Shastra itself. He says, why are you even bringing, why do you even have to write another sutra? Already we have analyzed Athato Dharma Jignasa has been done by Jaimini. Why are you even starting Brahma Sutra? The Vedanta Shastra itself is unnecessary. It can be argued like that. To show that Vedanta Shastra has to be there and it has its own phala and it has and the knowledge has to be gained. So the adhyasa has to be established. So only due to adhyasa we take ourselves as a particular dehi, as an individual self, and all suffering is a result of that. So having established that, then jnana as a pursuit is possible, then there can be a Brahma Jignasa, then you have to again know yourself as the limitless being. That's how the whole thing is. So here when Bhagavan says, the one who knows in this manner, because he has a Janma Karma Cha Me Divyam, he says. So I have this divine birth, okay. Even though I am unborn, I am appearing as though I am born. Even though I don't have any karma, I appear to be doing, correct? Tasya kartaram apimam vidya kartaram avyayam, like that he will say later also here. Chatur varnyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagashaha tasya kartaram apimam. So I have created all this chatur, all the four varnas and all that based on guna and karma. Even though I have created all these things, how should you know me? He says, Tasya kartaram api. Even though I have created, know me as akarta and avyaya. Know me as somebody who has not done anything and who is unchanging also. Vyaya means change or modification and all that. I don't undergo any change. I don't undergo any modifications. Means there is no action possible really, because action involves some change always, some force and all that. Action has to bring some change by applying application of force. But here Bhagavan says, in reality, I am akarta, I am avyaya, but it appears as though I have created everything. When you look at it from the standpoint of creation, I will say I have created. But from my own standpoint, I have not done anything. So in the same manner, you have to understand yourself also. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yoveti tattvataha. In this manner, one who knows the reality, that the reality of oneself also you have to know. How Bhagavan has known his own reality, you have to know your own reality also like that. And Bhagavan's reality and your reality are not different anyway. It is the same thing. You are also unborn. You may be appearing to be doing so many things in this world, but you are really akarta. You are abhokta. That is your Swarupa. So by knowing your Swarupa, like how Bhagavan knows the Swarupa and still appears. But we do not know the Swarupa. That is where the problem is. But you can know the Swarupa. Like even how Krishna knows his own Swarupa, and that's why he is not bound by anything. Similarly, you can also be free of all the afflictions, all the bondages by just knowing yourself as you are. Like even Krishna knows himself as he is. That's why this is a Mahavakya. This one, and it gives the phala also, correct? Jnana phalam is immediately he says, Tektva deham punarjanma. Okay. Punarjanma nayeti. Does not have another janma. Once he gives up this body, one who knows this reality is mukta, he attains Videha Mukti also. Being a Jivan Mukta, this person attains Videha Mukti, and also he attains me only, he says. Mameti Arjuna. He does not gain another janma, but where does he go means he is now one with me only, right? He attains me. Means me means here Brahman. He becomes one with Brahman. Brahma with Brahmaiva Bhavati, we say, correct? So he doesn't go anywhere. He doesn't take another puny body or anything. Like limited existence is not there for this person. He is the limitless. Once you are the limitless, there is no coming back. You can never be the jiva anymore. Once you have the knowledge that you are not this body mind sense complex, once that is clear to you, then there is no more coming back or anything. There is no way you can take yourself as karta bhokta. There is no limitations of all this bodily and whatever body mind sense complex. All the limitations of that do not apply to you, and you become one with Brahman only. In fact, even in the Upanishad also, it is said that Tasya pranaha na utkramante, like that Vedaranyaka also says that. Once this Jnani's body falls, what happens? His pranas do not rise, it says. Because for all others, the prana means the Sukshma Sharira only goes and takes another body, correct? That is said, I already told you, that in the second chapter only, Bhagavan talks about that. Like even we discard the clothes, old clothes, worn out clothes and take new clothes, like that the Jiva, once this body is gone, has to take another body. But the Jnani is not a Karta Bhokta. Jnani does not identify with the Sukshma Sharira also, nor the Karana Sharira. Sharira Traya Rahitaha. I'm not having any body. In fact, I'm Ashariri. That is the truth. And once you know that, then you don't have any Punarjanma or anything. Your prana does not rise again. It all becomes one with whatever is there already. In fact, but the Upanishad interestingly says Shodasha Kala Purushaha, like that. Every being has 16 components, constituents. Out of that, 15 goes away back into whatever the Prakriti only, the Brahman. But one alone remains, it says. That is your name. Name alone will remain still. Even if you are gone, the Jnani's name remains. Like that also it is said in the Prashna Upanishad also this is talked about, that everybody has 16 constituents. It gives all those details also. Out of that, 15 merge back into the element. One alone remains, which is the name. Name will remain. Like that this is said. So we'll continue with the next verses in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.